Yo, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Zone Coverage Podcast with your boy Zoe Phillips, man. Got a great show for you guys, man. Look, as you guys know, yesterday was Christmas, man. National holiday, man. Signing day, and we're gonna recap this thing for you, man. Got a lot of good players came into the HBCU landscape, man. Jackson had a great class. North Carolina Central did their thing. South Carolina State did a good thing, and look, we got some new coaches, man, that actually made some good moves. Look at them chilling. They ain't got my microphone close. Okay, listen, what you got? All right. Sorry about get this thing a little straight with you guys, man. All right, if you guys can hear me, make sure I got this mic on point. All right. Yeah, like I was saying, man, we got a lot of new coaches in the HBCU landscape. Uh got Sam Shady at Alabama A&M. We got obviously Michael Vick at Norfolk State. We got Deshaun Watson at Delaware State. You got Tremaine Jackson over at Prairie View, man. And coincidentally, all four coaches got some really, really good classes. And we're gonna get into all that in just a second, man. Let me go ahead and get this screen up for you, the screen up for you guys. We can actually get to rolling right quick, man. Let me change the screen up for you guys. Let's see here. All right. And go ahead and recap, man. We'll actually get started. Go ahead and bring this big board up. We actually talked about this yesterday, man, up on the uh on the pregame warm up, man. And just like Josh told you, man, stay tuned for all your local listings, man, for the Zone Plus app. You can see the logo down at the bottom of your screen, and it's an actual app, man, that's actually owned by Scotty, myself, Josh, and BJ Jones. It's a sports app solely for HBCU content. Be coming out here pretty soon. And all of our platforms will actually give exclusive content within that app. But I just want to bring this guy back up for you guys, man. We talk about the big board of the best high schoolers that actually signed up with HBCUs on yesterday. We got Wayne Newton, and this board is not in any order. We weren't going to do it like that, man. But these were the best players that we felt as of yesterday when we did the show, because I know Delaware State got some good prospects that actually signed up as well, but they actually posted late. So nonetheless, we got Wayne Patterson at Jackson State. Huge pickup for JSU. Kid was dominant, man, on the Georgia high school football scene. I'm sure you guys are aware, man. Georgia is becoming a very prominent football state down south. It won't just belong to Florida, Louisiana. Mississippi has been doing that thing for years on a per capita basis. But man, this kid put up some great numbers. Played a little D tackle, or played a lot, mostly a D tackle, but in some packages actually moved over to defensive end. And man, he got a ton of sacks, man. Very aggressive, and was in on a lot of plays. Disruptive, has a great motor. It's a huge pickup for Jackson State, knowing what they want to do on defense and knowing how physical they were last year. Looking at how they're going to actually translate that to adding some youth and more physicality to that line. Next, we move up, and look, I want to talk about this guy. I mentioned him yesterday, but I got to tell you guys, this kid is one of the best signees of any. To me, he's almost like basically the best, one of the best pickups any school's ever got this year. Lionel Burns is a dog. This kid played at Norcross High School in Metro Atlanta, and yeah, an amazing stat line. Plays from stiff competition in a very tough league and was extremely productive. Um, Measured in at 5'11". Some they got him listed at 6 feet, and he may actually be 6 feet tall. But you're talking about, man, the kid is 6 feet, 180, and look, has some great offers. 3-star kid. Look, Air Force, App State, Arkansas State, Liberty, UConn, James Madison, Jacksonville State. All were trying to get him at the last minute. He ended up sticking with Trey Oliver, heading over to North Carolina Central. And man, listen, you talk about a guy that can play every position on the defensive backfield. Man, kid has 77 tackles, 55 solo tackles, 5 tackle for loss, 2 INTs, and listen, 19 pass breakups. That's strong. So it's a huge pickup for North Carolina Central, and we'll get into their classes and everything else momentarily. And we move over to Mason Hicks. Now listen, South Carolina State has been doing their thing on the recruiting front, and they had a damn solid class this year. When you look at this kid, I get why in a lot of instances he may have been overlooked, and this kid, I don't care. To me, measurables are a great thing, but that's really, if you want to focus on measurables, you're pretty much looking at getting to the NFL. Man, college ball, man, productivity never lies. The tape don't lie. This kid, man, I get why he was undervalued, why he wasn't highly recruited because of the measurables. Kid comes in at 5'9", 165 pounds, right? But it reminds you of, to me, a faster I forgot my guy from from A&T that got drafted by my Bears. One of you guys put in the comments, man. It's hard to keep up with everybody's name, but he reminds you of a faster version of of him. And man, this kid had 207 carries, 2,665 yards, had right at 3,000 yards total yards from scrimmage, and 33 touchdowns. Listen, in one playoff game, the kid had 43 carries, almost 400 yards, and 6 touchdowns in a playoff game. I don't care what the size is. You getting productivity like that, you a baller. Um, Move on to Moses White. Huge get for FAMU. Tariq Cohen, appreciate that. Tariq Cohen. He's a faster Tariq Cohen. And we saw how Tariq Cohen wreaked havoc on the MEAC. And Tariq Cohen actually got drafted by my Chicago Bears, and he played about 4 or 5 years. Had a productive career, and he got fully vested in the league. So, but again, Moses White, man, look, damn good pickup for FAMU. Another tall receiver. Knowing FAMU likes to go deep, they want to go vertical. You're talking about, man, 6'4", 200 pounds. Again, had offers. He was a 2-star recruit. Was at one point in time a 3-star, but kind of tweener. You know what I'm saying? 2, 3-star. But man, offers. FAMU, Ole Miss, Maryland, Georgia State. Man, listen, if Ole Miss trying to get you a receiver, tells me all I need to know. If Lane Kiffin trying to get you a receiver, you a dog. And so now we move on to Aiden Moody. Man, running back out of Alabama, going to Alabama State. From Birmingham, out of Jackson Olin High School. Man, 6'1", 180. Again, was a tweener. Was floating between being a 3-star and a 2-star. And again, the offers do not lie. App State, UAB, South Florida, Minnesota, Troy. Telling you, we get some damn good talent in the Swac and in the MEAC. Now, one of my favorites. I told you guys about Lionel Burns. This kid here is a baller. Man, Jamari Stokes, athlete, but he mostly played, he could play on offense, but made his bread and butter on at cornerback and at safety. Mostly at cornerback. Signed with Mississippi Valley State. I'm going to tell you why this is tantamount. Terrill Buckley has been putting cornerbacks in the league for quite a few years now. He was a star in Florida State. He's recruiting Florida pretty good, and this kid is out of Metro Tallahassee. So that win that Valley had in Tallahassee paid dividends. But this kid, I said it yesterday on the platform. Any of you guys that can hear my voice now, I'm telling you, Jamari Stokes, Gaston County High School, pull him up, watch the film, and you're gonna say, "Damn, this kid going to Valley. This kid is a dog." Man, he jumps out at you. I mean, he almost jumps out at you the way Lionel Burns does. And they had a good career too. But man, I'm telling you, this is a damn good get for Valley. And I just gotta read this to you. This dude signed with Mississippi Valley. He had offers from FAMU, Alabama State, UAB, Maryland, Tulane, UConn. And he signed with Valley. That's telling you the kind of work that Terrill Buckley is putting in. So that's a damn good gift for a first-time head coach. Then we got LaJuan Lurie over at Bethune-Cookman. Man, was a star on a stingy defensive line that actually won a state championship with Teddy Bridgewater as the head coach. 6'3", 220, has a really, really good frame. I actually think the kid could actually grow another inch or two has the type of frame that can actually put on some more weight, good quick twitch, really, really good pickup for those guys. And last but not least, man, Caleb Tillery. Signed with Michael Vick. He was a Peninsula Co-Defensive Player of the Year in the 757. Coincidentally, Michael Vick and Norfolk State, they actually signed both of the Co-Peninsula Defensive Player of the Year. And this kid here is similar to the kid that I was telling you, Mason Hicks, that signed with South Carolina State. This kid is undersized, but again, productivity does not lie. The kid is a linebacker. He's coming in at 5'11", 215 pounds. But go look at his stat line and watch the film. Look, they made it to a state championship program and with the Phoebus High School, I'm sorry. And it's a football powerhouse in the 757. And this kid, man, over 100 tackles. I think he had about 85 solo tackles, over 100 tackles on the year, double-digit sacks, got some INTs, got some forced fumbles. Again, productivity does not lie. Does not lie. And so again, next thing you know, man, this kid is a really, really good pickup for Michael Vick. And again, it's a defensive stalwart from the 757. And I can tell you right now, I can see Michael Vick they're putting a fence around the 757 because, man, they got about 5 or 6 transfers from Hampton, and they recruited quite a few guys on the high school level over to the 757. And I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started to this thing, man. So look, I'm moving my camera around. Sorry about that, you guys. All right. So look, I got my HBCU top 10. You can see it scrolling on the tick at the bottom. Look, we got a lot of extra talent coming into the Swac and into the MEAC. But look, this is just my rankings, the way I see it, the way I saw it. I actually, man, watched a lot of film today, watched a lot of film yesterday, man, taking a few notes and looking over offers, man, and just piecing things together. And I got to tell you, this is my top 10, right? And we're going to actually get to the grades. Got a graphic for the SWAC. I'm just going to read off of the MEAC because it was kind of timely to do it. But I'm going to start with my HBCU top 10, and we're going to break down into the conference slate to see what we got to, how we got to, right? And so when it comes down to the HBCU top 10, and look, I'm going to say this, I'm not being a homer when I say it. We're going to start at number 1, Jackson State. I mean, it kind of goes without saying. I mean, HBCU national champs, man, did their thing. When you talk about what Jackson State lost from this previous year, when you look at the holes that need to be filled, also bear in mind, we can't remiss that Jackson State had the number 1 ranked class in all of HBCU last year. You had quite a few of those kids that redshirted that's actually going to help fill in some of those holes. So when you talk about need and also talent that they actually brought in, Jack State brought in the most star-studded class in all the HBCU. Again, when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, just the sheer number of 3 stars from the high school ranks alone that they got, pretty much astounding. And then to add the late pieces that you get by bringing in Keenan Christian, 4-star running back from USC, formerly of San Diego State, who actually has some really, really good productivity. Again, you look at what Jack State returns on offense. Jack State led the conference in scoring and in total offense last season. Well, you look at what's leaving from that offense. You only lose two O-linemen. And of those 2 O-linemen that are leaving from that O-line, you played a ton of freshmen that got a lot of playing time last year in place of some of those upperclassmen who are actually leaving. You didn't play with your starting tight end last year. J.C. Riley is actually coming back. And then you actually have you lose Irv Mulligan, but you lose Irv Mulligan, and yet you're replacing him with another 4-star. And I mean, I can't sit there and say that Keenan Christian will actually be starting. That running back room is loaded. Nate Blunt is coming back, had a red shirt year. Then you also look who you add. You add the young man from sorry, man, so many names here. You actually you bring in Jeremiah Wilson from Jackson Lanier, homegrown kid from the city of Jackson, who eclipsed 1,200 yards rushing and about 12 touchdowns. Then you also add Denario Davenport, originally from McComb, Mississippi, who actually first went to Kilgore College, had a damn good career Ended up signing them with Texas State. We played against them, then transferred into Louisiana Tech. Pretty much redshirted that year, and now he's coming at Jack State. And Denario Davenport is a dog. Huge running back. Talking about a little over 6'1 and a half. Man, touching right about 205, 210, and still runs a legit 4.5. You got Denario Davenport, Jeremiah Brown, and you still got Keenan Christian. You add the second best rated receiver in the conference, and Nate Rembert, who and caught 70 balls, over 1,000 yards. You only have 4 touchdowns, but remember, you guys have to remember that Swac TO was the third wide receiver option for Jack State. You bring back Rico Powers. Jack State is loaded. And then again, you look at this class, man. You talk about the 2 linemen they got. You got Kale Armstrong, 3-star out of Houston, Mississippi. You got Ryan Anderson, 3-star coming out of Texas. I mean, it's loaded, man. We hadn't even talked about the quarterback. You're bringing in Starks, an upperclassman from Florida Atlantic, and that's just to have experience, you know what I'm saying, an experienced, senior or an experienced upperclassman into the room. But remember, Matt Stouffer redshirted last year. You lose Zy McDonald, but then you also have Ethan Terrill, who was a 3-star last year that redshirted. You bring in now another 3-star, Jared Lockhart. Put you in mind for Cam Newton. Kid's coming off of an injury, but man, he got all the tools in the bag. And I don't fully expect to see Jackson State do what they ran last year going into this next upcoming season. So it's gonna be real interesting, man. Then you talk about Keith Bass, linebacker coming in from Langston Hughes. You got Cam Evans, Carmelo Jones. You got Kenzavius Lundy, man, won a defensive player of the year out of Mississippi. Another 3-star kid. I mean, the majority of these kids are high school kids, man. They're talented. 3-star. I mean, so like I said, you got Cam Salas coming in, transfer from Kansas State. Jackson State class is loaded, but yeah, man, they get it. And I'm gonna be honest, they got it just by a little bit, because my number 2 team in the recruiting class and recruiting rankings for this year, they can make an argument. South Carolina State, man, has an amazing class. They have an amazing class. I mean, man, look, that whooping that Jack State put on them in the Celebration Bowl, man, the mailman really got to work. Chinnis Berry hit the ground running. Their class is phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal to a man. And honestly, I got to be honest, between South Carolina State, I got them coming in number 2. Like I said, we mentioned Mason Hicks earlier. You look at some of the quarterbacks that they brought in, what they did in the trench game, some of the linemen they brought in. And South Carolina State, I don't know what it is about the state of South Carolina, but they always bring in damn good running backs year after year after year. And I gotta tell you, man, Mason Hicks is a damn good kid as well. But then I got number 3 coming in, North Carolina Central. And let me tell you, in my rankings, man, I got Jack State with an A+. I honestly got South Carolina State with an A. And they're so close, man. I got sorry, my guys, we're here. I got South Carolina State with an A. I got Jack State with an A+. I got North Carolina Central with an A-. That's literally how close they are. All 3 of them get A's. But so if I had a grade scale, I get Jack State with like about a 98. I've got North Carolina Central, I'm sorry, South Carolina State with a 95, and I got Central, man, coming in with a 91. Like, that's how nip and tuck that thing was. Look, man, Lionel Hayes for I said Lionel Hayes, man. I just changed the dude's name. Lionel Burns, I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys, if you get a chance to watch that kid's film, it's phenomenal. But then also, man, they brought a tight end in. It's nice. Brought in 2 quarterbacks from South Carolina. They really, 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 really look good. And after then, man, it's pretty there. After Central, I got Tennessee State. I got Tennessee State coming in with a B+. Eddie George going to his 5th season, and they're on an upward trend. I really hate Jack State and Tennessee State can't play in this upcoming season. Both had the same open date on September the 20th, and I hate that they couldn't get that game filled, because, man, that would be a slobber knocker. I mean, Tennessee State is they got to find another quarterback, but they recruited some things they feel comfortable with, and Jack State is loaded. Tennessee State is expected to have a good season, and they return a lot. Lose Drayton Ellis and his productivity, um, but again, they pretty much run the ball quite a bit. They rely on the run as well as Jackson State does. But man, when you talk about the talent on the field now in that Southern Heritage Classic, if they were to have it, it would be astounding. So yeah, I got Tennessee State coming in and over four with a B plus. Excuse me. And man, when we look at I'm gonna move something for you guys right quick. When I actually get to ticker, 1 second. Yeah, Blue, they did. They did. But the one reason why I don't see much drop off, Tennessee State actually recruited pretty good last season. Um and they have a damn good class as well. They've been hitting it pretty darn good. And look, after Tennessee State, I got FAMU coming in. Got FAMU coming in number 5, and I got FAMU with a B minus. Uh, FAMU is they're sticking to the same thing that they did. They're gonna rely on the portal mostly. And again, there's no shortage of players in the state of Florida. They hit. I am intrigued about this one prospect. I'm just waiting to see. He looks more of a project, but he has damn good upside. Forget the kid's name, but he's a guy I'm playing a rush in. 6'5", 215. Um, forget the kid's name, but FAMU brought in a lot of transfers. I think they brought in the most transfers, if I'm not mistaken, probably than every other FCS school. I think they got about 20 portal kids in, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can let me know if I'm right or not. But FAMU did a damn good job. Damn good job. Now we're gonna see how they translate. I know they brought the quarterback in from Central Michigan. And the only thing that concerns me about FAMU and the way that they move is they live in free agency with their quarterback play year in and year out. And that's risky and expect to have some continuity and some success, knowing that you're interchanging quarterbacks now, which will be the 3rd year in a row. And the 2nd year of a new coach's regime. So hopefully we can see some type of continuity and some uptick from year 1 to year 2 under the Koji regime. So we'll see what that looks like. But man, look, he's doing a damn good job on the recruiting trail. And look, coming in number 6, I got Prairie View. Got Prairie View, man. Tremaine Jackson, he's basically been turned into the FAMU of the West. Pretty much let it be known they're going to recruit the portal. They're going to recruit the portal heavy, and we specifically want kids from Metro Houston out of the portal. Let it be known, and that's exactly what he's going. That's exactly what he's going to do. But I mean, I love it. Like the way they spread it around. It seems very, very intentional on what they're trying to get. I'm just really interested to see what they're going to do. I do have a feeling that they're going to throw the ball all over the lot. Valdosta State has always been known as an air it out program. They aired out a lot when he was there, so I don't expect anything different. You look at the coaching staff that he's brought in, uh listen to look at the moves that they made, and I see it lines up like they're going to throw the ball quite a bit. And I like the talent he got in. So I mean, he did a damn good job in year 1. Plus he came a little bit behind the 8 ball because being that they were on the playoff run, making it to the championship game on the Division 2 level. He wasn't able to really get in there and get a head start. But I tell you what, if he can make up the kind of ground that he did as late as he did, it's going to be interesting to see how he does in his first season, recruiting throughout this year going into the next offseason. Because, man, he did a damn good job in his first year. Seriously. And then coming in number 7, hey, another new coach. I got Sam Shade in Alabama A&M. And listen, I got them with a B minus. Uh, Alabama A&M did a good job. And I got to tell you, I'm very, very intrigued, seriously, for the first time in a long time on the new coaches within this conference and those programs, because I got to tell you, Alabama A&M and both uh, Prairie View to me are a form of some type of enigma. Huge question marks, but they have great potential to really make some damage in year one of these programs. Look, TC Taylor was a first-time head coach, came in at 7-4 with a whole rebuilt roster. I wouldn't sit here and deny and think that neither one of these programs can't do the same thing. The only difference is neither Sam Shade or Tremaine Jackson are first-time head coach. Tremaine Jackson just coached in a national championship game on the D2 level. Sam Shade got to the playoffs on the D2 level. And Sam Shade turned around a worse program in miles than what he's doing at Alabama A&M. Because though Alabama A&M might not have had the success and Maynard was let go, the cupboard is not bare in Huntsville. There is talent there. I mean, look, they got a potential draft pick just left off their team. That's a damn good player too. There are some good players down in Huntsville. So really, really interested to see what Sam Shea is going to do with the class that he got in. Brought in a lot of guys from the state of Alabama. Brought in a player or two from Miles. Put a damn good staff together too. Actually just made the announcement that Ken Nevins is going to be the quarterback coach. I'm very well versed with Ken Nevins. I've been knowing him since he was in high school. He was a record-breaking quarterback out of Westwood High School. Him and Damian Dawson. First time I ever seen a high school receiver have over 100 catches in the season. And Ken Nevins was a quarterback, and Ken Evans actually ended up heading over to Tennessee State. So we're very well versed with Ken Nevins at quarterback. And but anyway, Sam Shade, like I said, interested to see what he's going to do on offense as well. But needless to say, like I said, the cupboard's not bare, and they got the good. So to sit here and think that they can't be 7-5, or possibly 8-4 in their first year, they can. I haven't looked at the schedule to see what their breakdown is like, but I wouldn't run it past them. So look, coming in at number 8, I got Norfolk State again. Another new coach in the HBCU landscape. Michael Vick, the living legend, came in and again came in late, just like the other coaches, and hit the ground running. Came in late announcing his staff, but man, did what he said he was going to do as well. Man, say he wanted to fence off the 757. It's a very, very fertile recruiting ground. And look, go look at the class. That class, honestly, if you aren't familiar with Norfolk State, it almost looked like I'll be willing to bet you like the University of Virginia's class. And what I mean by that is just about every player is from Virginia. Really, really roped off the 757. It is a very, very fertile ground, and a lot of coaches from that area, a lot of players from that area, and I don't foresee Michael Vick having as much success with the way the MEAC is set up in his first year, but I do see him trending upward nonetheless. Again, Sam Shade and Tremaine Jackson's a different beast because these aren't first-time head coach. There's going to be some learning curve for Michael Vick, and again, the MEAC is a very physical league, and being that they only have 5 games, you're going to have a lot of tough non-conference games that he's going to have to learn and deal with, and it's going to be a tough road to hoe for him. So but nonetheless, man, damn good talent in this class. Like I stated earlier, got the co-defensive players of the year on that defense. Got 2 big receivers, one from Hampton and one from no, 2 big receivers from Hampton to make their way back over there. And like I said, man, damn good job for them. And listen, after Norfolk State, I got Alabama State. Oh, my grade, Norfolk State, I got Norfolk State with a B, all right? Then we got Alabama State. I got Alabama State coming in at number 9, and Alabama State, I got them with a C+. Got them with a C+, and again, I mentioned earlier they got a dynamic running back. Um, Question mark is with Alabama State, and I have to say this, look, we're gonna have to see what they're gonna do on offense. Because look, prior to Eddie Robinson being there, the one thing Alabama State has done continuously is get damn good defensive players. Like BJ stated, man, they've been notoriously known for getting tall 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" cornerbacks. But whatever they're doing from a template standpoint of picking out guys, they know what they want to get, and they're finding damn good defensive players. They were even doing that before Eddie Robinson, but since he's gotten there, they've just gotten stronger. But notice what I'm saying. That's only on one side of the ball. just as good as they are on defense, they're just as bad on offense. We have the expectation that Andrew Body will be coming back, and again, it's the second full year of him being out for surgery, out for injury. But again, if he can have any type of semblance of his old form, it'll make Alabama State formidable. The main thing is seeing what they got at receiver. Now they signed some good old linemen. But the thing is, man, they got to have some type of passing game because even before Andrew Body was there, it was the same thing. You had Demetrius Davis. They had no traction on offense. Um, and it's been rinse, wash, repeat. And so, again, they signed some studs on defense. We don't even have to question that because that's what Alabama State does. They picked up some pieces on offense. We just got to see it and see what that's going to translate to. But nonetheless, we like what they've gotten. And so, again, got Alabama State with a C plus, got them coming in at number 9. And look at number 10, another new coach, man. We got Deshaun Jackson and the Delaware State Hornets coming in at number 10. Now listen, this is a huge get just for me even saying this because when's the last time we even mentioned Delaware State on anybody's ranking list in the HBCU ranks? We haven't ever, you know. But Delaware State has had some talent. Jackson State has gotten some, right? You talk about the Book of Isaiah Guthrie. You talk about Sylvion Wilkerson. Both left, actually came over to Jackson State and had damn good careers at Jackson State. So again, there's talent in the area, and they've had talent on their team, but nonetheless, that team and that program has yet to scratch any form of success. And Deshaun Jackson came in, and he's really, really got some good pieces in. Just think the Delaware State. Oh yeah, by the way, I got them. I got them with a C plus. Got them with a C plus as well. The thing that's working against them is got some talent in. I mean, you got a highly rated wide receiver in there. Got another damn good receiver in there. You picked up a couple of good old linemen. The thing is with Delaware State that you're not seeing that's not jumping out at you is the size and the physicalness that you see in some of these players. I see a lot of finesse, and I see a lot of they aren't big, a lot of small players. And again, when you talk about the MEAC, it's a very unforgiving and grinding league. And man, to see what they have and what they got, again, good class nonetheless. The fact that we're even talking about Delaware State and recruiting says a lot as it is, but one thing I can say, they definitely got some speed. Look, you get a transfer running back out of California in Kobe Boykin, who former Jack State player. You actually flipped the Jackson State linebacker who was committed to sign with Jack State. Defensive end. That was another damn good pickup. But a slender guy, as is, was going to actually be a project with Jackson State. But hey, Deshaun Jackson comes in and he flips them. Kids in Delaware. So again, they made some good moves, got some good pickups. We just gotta see what that looked like and what that's gonna translate. But again, not to discredit him because again, he got in so darn late. And I gotta give kudos to Deshaun Jackson because again, for him to get in as late as he did, not to have a full staff like everybody else, for him to even have, the 10th rated class in HBCU ball, number 1, and then number 2, to even get the number or sheer number of quality of guys that he's got, that's saying something. But that speaks to his star power as well. So kudos to him. Now look, we actually will get over here to the Swac West, and look, I'm gonna go ahead and break down. I broke down my grades, but I'm gonna go ahead and break down and get into everybody here and put us up here, man, so you guys can actually see. All right. Let me move this over here a little bit. All right, as you guys can see here, man, look, got the Swac West loading up. I kind of pretty much told you my HBCU top 10. We're gonna go ahead and break down everybody in the Swac. We're gonna start by division. We're gonna start with the West. We got it in order too, man. So look, we got Alcorn coming in. Look, you guys can see it. Got Alcorn with the C plus. Got Grambling with a D. I got Southern with a C minus. Prairie, like I told you, you guys as a B minus. I got Texas Southern with a C. And man, Pine Bluff with a D minus, man. We're gonna get into it. Look, we already talked about Prairie View, so we're gonna actually move over from them. But man, Alcorn got Alcorn with a C plus. Look, I like what Alcorn did. This class that they actually got, uh, look, needed quarterback, and again, all these scores can actually change. This is just present day because, as we know, on the FCS level, we're gonna all have tons of guys. This lower there right quick. We're gonna all have tons of guys that are actually gonna trickle throughout the summer. So these scores, these grades will actually change. But at present day, I like what Alcorn did. They needed a quarterback. They ended up getting two. I was actually shocked. I was hoping that they would actually go after Zy McDonald. I think Zy would be a good fit at Alcorn. I know there was some interest there. I don't know what happened. Still would like to see Zy end up at Valley. Oh, and before I even get into it, I forgot. That's my top 10, but I have to give an honorable mention on the recruiting classes to Mississippi Valley, and I'm going to get into them in just a second. But Alcorn, this class looks very much to me like a Fred McNair class. Not a ballyhoo class, not a class with a lot of flash and big names, but blue collar guys, a lot of JUCO kids that's gonna come in and hit the reservation and get to work. And that'll actually, make their name while they're on campus. That's what this class reminds me of. The only difference is actually keeping the class to me from being even higher than that. Because I really feel like had they got a really dynamic quarterback, I could easily give them Alcorn like a B plus. Their class is solid. They did the usual, got them a running back, man, got some old linemen, got some D linemen, got a big time receiver that I'm excited about, and what I'm saying? I'm just not sold on the quarterback that they've got. But outside it, everything in the class I think looks pretty solid. Pretty much, what I'm saying, run of the mill, all corn class. And don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's just again that quarterback is a letdown. I really think if they got a dynamic quarterback or something to just move the needle, it actually changes that grade significantly. Next up, man, we got Grambling, and we kind of talked about this yesterday. Grambling class was just a huge letdown for me. I do like the pickup of ZT Set. It's no secret I'm a fan of his. I think the kid is a damn good pickup. Matter of fact, like I was just talking about Alcorn, I would have loved to seen ZT Set at Alcorn. Now that would have been a game changing move, But I love ZT Set. Think it's a damn good player. Like the pickup of Ty Keys. In my belief, I actually think that I could see Ty Keys probably win this job, but I think if it's close, I think T said should actually get it. But everything else, man, is just so lackluster. To see the amount of guys they actually got that transferred in from within the conference was mind-boggling to me. Typically within the Swac, man, we get transfers from other schools. You'd like to see players that will actually contribute pretty much. I don't really see too many times you players that haven't received that much playing time, maybe on the FBS level that got the goods, but just looking for an opportunity and they drop down. But not within this conference. And for them to get quite a few guys transfer within the conference, man, that really didn't do anything, and now you're transferring over, I just don't see it. I really, really don't. Like Grambling's day was very, very ungrambling like. Grambling has always been known to have a dynamic badass receiver on their squad. And they were always Grambling was also known to have, good quarterback, a dynamic quarterback and a loaded defense. And I'm just not seeing that in what they picked up at all. I'm very, very, what I'm saying, disappointed, I would say, at the coaching staff. I thought better that they would be recruiting at a higher level than what they're doing. So mosey on Southern. I gave Southern a C minus. I kind of want to put Southern in the same boat with Alcorn, but also a little bit of Grambling. And here's what I mean. I like Southern's class. They got some players, but I just didn't see it on court. The quarterback was a head scratcher. I mean, I don't even get the whole idea of getting Jamari Jones. He played at Valley, didn't have any success at all at Valley, kind of stuck up the joint, leaves, transfers away, doesn't do anything where he transfers to, and you just get a spot to him. I don't get that. I like the young quarterback that they got from Marietta. I think the kid's a baller. Got hurt, could play in the Swac championship game, and yeah, I can see the idea of getting another quarterback, but uh, I forget my guy's name at defensive end. Kelby Gibbons. He's a dog, man. Uh, guys could bring in some another good defensive stalwart on the other end to kind of help him. I think Southern defense will be formidable. Southern defense wasn't really bad last year, but again, it was the first year of a regime. Southern get a tackle. I mean, if Southern get a tight end, replace old boy at running back, I think again, you just need steady play at quarterback. You don't have to have, you know what I'm saying, uh, you know, everybody want to have these 4,000-yard passes or 3,000-yard passes, but for Southern and knowing what Terrence Gray is going to do, they want to run the ball and play damn good defense. And one thing I can say, I believe Terrence Gray is going to put a good defense on the field for Southern. They were formidable last year, and again, first year. So I expect to see them trending upward in the second year because you're going to have some continuity from year one to year two. But in this class, man, they got some good pieces. Again, it's like Alcorn, nothing ballyhoo, but you see some good, solid talent that they can weave in with this roster. The only thing that's really killing it for me is quarterback because Jamari Jones is just, I'm gonna say it was an asinine move to even get that. I mean, I would have even wasted that. I mean, the kid did nothing at Valley. I know some people say, well, it's Valley, but he left and didn't do anything either. So if Southern can, some type of way, man, even throughout the late spring into the summer, if they can get them a quarterback or right that position, I think Southern's actually going to be okay. And like I said, we mentioned Prairie View earlier, and then we actually looked at Texas Southern. Texas Southern got C minus. I got them with Southern. Uh, Texas Southern had a good day. They had a good day. Uh, Won 5 games last year, and inconsistent play at quarterback after Cooper went down, the quarterback who actually had some success for him. And Texas Southern issue is just the opposite of Alabama State. Their problem was defense. Offense was okay. They got stagnant in certain games, but their problem was defense. Their second level was horrendous. No, they were undersized on the D line, but again, I'm not going to kill them because it's the first year of a regime. So you kind of want to see some progress. And look, at the end of the day, they still won 5 games and easily could have won 6 because, by all accounts, they should have beat Southern. Um, so 5 games for Texas Southern, that's good in year one. So you expect to see some type of upward mobility with that, right? To see what that's going to look like trending upward. Not saying that they're going to win 8 games or 9 games, but they won 5. There's no reason to believe they can't win 7, right? And so with this class, do they get enough pieces to see that they can make that move and do that? We'll see. We'll see. But still a solid class nonetheless. And after that, man, we get to the lowly lines at Pine Bluff. Look, it ain't good. It ain't good. Got a player or two. Want to speak to Garrison Davis, man. Garrison Davis is a decent quarterback from Holmes County Central here in in Chula, Mississippi. Uh, Good player. Played at a dominant high school program, coached by a former Jack State player, Marcus Rogers. Holmes County Central, there's a lot of talent at this school. Jeremiah Williams went there. A lot of good players from that school. And Garrison Davis comes from good stock. His dad is Sean Davis, known player here at Murrah High School. He was the offensive coordinator as well. And the only thing about this kid was he was undersized. That was it. If he was taller, this kid would have been recruited by the likes of a lot of power four, or at the very best, I would say group of 5 schools. Got a good arm, could sling it, and they throw the ball all over the lot. So it was a good pickup for them. They also picked up another good linebacker out of Colin. They really recruited the Mississippi JUCOs pretty good. I just think for Pine Bluff, because of the instability of the program and the tradition that they have of losing, I just think it's kind of hard for them to really hit the high schools and hit them hard to really get in good talent. But they got some good guys, a few players out of JUCO, but everything else is so less to be desired. And that's the only thing. But we'll see. They're going to year 3 of Alonzo Hampton's regime, and it just seems like a rebuild. You lose highest rated quarterback in the conference. You lose the best wide receiver statistically in the conference. Leaves Pine Bluff and go to Oklahoma. So again, Alonzo Hampton was doing something right, but it wasn't producing anything. But this class appears to be pretty lackluster. So we'll see. We'll see. And so from there, man, we leave on the Swac West, and we head over to the Swac East. And gotta tell you, man, like I told you, we're gonna leave Jackson alone. We got Jackson with an A+, but as you can see, we got Alabama A&M with a B-. Alabama State with a C+. We got Bethune-Cookman with a D. You got FAMU with a B-, and we got Valley with a C-. And I gotta get into Valley in a minute because I gotta tell you guys, man, Terrill Buckley is coming in hot. But look, Alabama A&M, we touched on them earlier. We touched on Alabama State earlier. Touched on FAMU. Bethune-Cookman, it's like Pine Bluff. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Again, we're going to a third year of a regime, bringing in a new OC, and it feels like it's a complete rebuild, right? And being that it's a rebuild, the recruiting class doesn't speak to that. Like it doesn't speak to a rebuild. It doesn't speak to, we're really trying to hold on 1 second, my bad. There we go. Sorry about that. It doesn't speak to, urgency, like we're in year 3 of a program. And that's the only thing. I really don't see anything that really stood out in this class. I gotta tell you, for Bethune-Cookman to be in Florida, man, to have Valley out recruit you, and Terrill Buckley came into the game late. Seriously, Terrill Buckley hadn't even been on the job for a month. Had been on the job for a month. Had announced his staff, and for Bethune-Cookman to get out recruited by Valley says a lot. But could this be a new Valley on Terrill Buckley? We'll see. I'm expecting to hear this staff get revealed. I'm assuming by next week. I'm really looking forward to that. I think we're gonna be in for a surprise of a name or two, possibly on this class for Terrill Buckley. But I'm actually getting to Valley now. But yeah, that Bethune-Cookman class is very underwhelming. Very, very, very underwhelming. But now look, I'm gonna get into Valley, man. I got Valley with a C-, and that's only because of the numbers that they actually got in. But for Valley to be this late in the game, and for Valley to be undermined with their budget and the way everything is, for Valley to out recruit Pine Bluff and Bethune-Cookman to be just under Alabama State, man, that says a lot. And I gotta tell you, y'all can think I'm playing if you want to. Go look at Valley signees when you get a chance. I'm not kidding. Go look. Valley got some damn good players out of Florida. Damn good players out of Florida. I'm not kidding. Man, that kid, uh, uh, excuse me, uh, Jamar Stokes is gonna be a star. That kid is going to be a star. I'm telling you, watch that kid's film, it jumps out at you. But there are some others as well. I'm not really excited about the quarterback they got in. But again, just like all the teams that I mentioned with the grades, they can change because again, there's gonna be some movement after the spring season, after the spring games. Some more players hit the portal. It's gonna free up some spots, and there's gonna be some movement, and we all know that. But I'm really excited to see what Valley's going to do, even on the quarterback front, even Alcorn and Southern. That's the only, question mark within this conference because when you look at quarterback play and you look at who's returning starters, there aren't many in the conference at all. Um, Jackson State has one. I would say Andrew Body, but we're not going to include him as a starter because he missed all of last season, though he has some experience. But we talk about restarting starters. There aren't many within the conference of the Swac. Phew. But Valley, man, Terrill Buckley is doing a phenomenal job getting talent into their school. So, I mean, hey, it's gonna be a killer. It's gonna be a killer. Really, really gonna be a killer. So I actually looking forward to seeing what they'll do. Oh, excuse me. Um, on that front. Also see what that's gonna translate. I know typically, look, I'm not sitting here saying Valley's gonna win 6 or 7 games, but I got them. If they got into a phone booth and they get to that game, whether it's not Pine Bluff, whether it's Valley and Bethune Cookman, I'm rolling with Valley right now. I'm so serious. I'm rolling with Valley right now. I mean, and they've done something, even if it's one game, that Bethune can do. They beat FAMU at home and look pretty good doing it. Um, so um, just looking to see. I would say, look, just pay attention. I'm not going to treat Valley. And look, I know every year a lot of us say, man, hey, Valley might be tough. They might be sorry, but they're gonna be tough. They're gonna play so and so hard. I think this is gonna be a whole different approach now. I really, really do. I can't quantify it just yet to give games and all that. I'm gonna go check out this spring game. I really am. I want to go see what that looked like. Get my eyes on it just to get a feel for it. I think it's gonna be different this time, y'all, with a reputable coach that's gonna invest and gonna put his name on the line. I really do. I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm seeing so far. I got a real idea it's gonna be a different thing under Valley, under Terrill Buckley. Not saying they're gonna be in contention for some championships, but I think he gonna really put his best foot forward to do so. And I'm here for it. I would love to see a competitive Valley winning 6, 7, 8 games. I would love to see it. But look, nonetheless, you know, it is what it is. Now look, we're gonna make our way over to the MEAC. And look, MEAC, man, look, it's kind of lackluster, but it's almost like running chalk as well. It's gonna run what we expect for it to run, and the movement has been that way, right? Like I told you guys, South Carolina State got the best class in that conference. It's not disputable either. Look, I know some Central fans may watch this, and look, I'm not hating because Central did a damn good job too. But what South Carolina State did this year, special. It's special. They got a loaded damn class with some solid productivity in that class. For real, for real. And after Central, man, I got no after South Carolina State, I got Central. Like I said, I got South Carolina State with an A. I got Central with an A minus. A minus. I do. And again, I think Central has what I would like to call the best player signed by anybody. You guys get a chance, watch that kid film. The tape don't lie. Now, Jamari Stokes looks just as damn near as good as Lionel Burns. I'm not kidding. But Central, like I said, going to South Carolina, getting the two quarterbacks that they got, they made some solid moves. Got a huge tight end, man, almost 6'6", 230. Looks good. At tight end. Trey Oliver know what he's doing. He's looking for a particular thing and he's going to get it, similar to what TC does. So Central's doing a damn good job. And then, like I said, Michael Vick, Norfolk, they come in at third, man, with a B. Um, that's solid, man, for a first-time head coach. I think it's similar a lot to what TC did. Only difference is I don't see Norfolk winning 7 games in his first year, right? But I like what Vic did. I want to see what the growth look like in his first year. I want to see what his lumps look like, in his trials and tribulation within his first year to see what his learning curve is going to be. But also, if he's recruiting like this in his first year, it's very tantamount because, again, if he does a repeat of this or better for next year, look out in year 2, right? And so after that, like I said, I got Delaware State with a C+. Again, another first-year head coach recruiting his tail off. Again, just like Terrill Buckley, Deshaun Jackson came in late. I think he may have got Terrill Buckley by 3 weeks. So not a full 2 months on the job. And full staff. Just hired I think is a good move at OC. Travis Clark is a high school phenom in regards to contacts with coaches out on the West Coast, and man, they got a lot of kids from California coming. It's a lot of speed on Delaware State team. Kobe Borkins is a dog, by the way. Didn't see the field really at Jackson State, but the kid is a dog. He's a gamer, and I'm telling you, they got speed. They got faster. They got faster. They just don't have the size. And I don't feel or see the physicality that I think that they need to have in the MEAC. But again, they still can get a handful of players throughout the late spring and summer to correct that. Again, I don't see them coming up here winning no 6, 7 games in their first year to really do that. But man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a phenomenal thing, especially when November 1st, when Delaware State and Norfolk State get it on to see all this new talent with both of these new staffs to see who's made the most progress in this first year, and then we can kind of gauge and see how it goes into year two. After that, man, I got Howard. I got Howard with a C, and Howard was very lackluster. And Larry Scott was recruiting the crap out of Florida, and it just seemed like they've regressed at doing it. He made headways in that first year. Going to get Eden James, going to get some big names, high level talent, and that talent translated to them getting to the Celebration Bowl, and they've been regressing ever since. And it's almost like they're in no man's land. Like you hear nothing about Howard. It's almost like they don't have a football program, right? But they got a few good players in there. Larry Scott can recruit, but they're missing the mark right now. I'm telling you, the way that the recruiting is going, South Carolina State and Central are doing their thing. Delaware State and Norfolk is closing the gap. If they do again next season what they're doing this year, it's going to be a 4-team race every year that's not going to include Howard and Morgan. And that's the way it's looking, and that's the feel to it, right? So and yeah, Delaware State, we had a pretty decent DN from Delaware, committed to Jack State. Literally, Deshaun Jackson flipped him. I mean, so they're doing something. He's getting some talent. He's getting some talent. It's undersized and it's thin and it's fast, but he's getting it. But again, we got to see what that's going to translate to going into next year, man. And so last place, man, we got Morgan State coming up in the rear, man. I got them with a C minus, right? And again, same thing. Damian Wilson, damn good coach at Bowie State. And since he's been there, the thing that he's been known for, that's been the thing that's been making his headway. It's been defense. And it's been getting damn good defensive players. And he got some damn good defensive players in his class. But it's like they're the MEAC version of Alabama State. Can't get right on offense. Recruiting their tail off on defense. Recruiting nothing on offense. So it gives you all the examples of it's going to be much more of the same. Damn good defense, probably one of the best defenses in the conference. Lackluster on offense. Because even what recruits-wise, what you're seeing from the recruiting is there's nothing on offense to make you say, this could be something that could trend in another direction to give us some hope that we can get this thing changed. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing it. So, like I said, man, South Carolina State with an A, Central with an A minus, Norfolk State with a B, Delaware State C plus, Howard with a C, Morgan State with a C minus. All right. Now we're getting ready to make this next move, man. We got Tennessee State and A&T. Look, I gotta tell you, I'm messing up something over here. I gotta tell you, Tennessee State, they did a damn good job. Eddie Robinson been keeping it slow and steady. Consistent recruiting. Guys just putting bringing their lunch pail, man. They getting out the mud. They've gotten they're getting some talent, getting quite a few 3 stars, but man, I really can sit there and say that Tennessee State is a developmental program. You really, really see that. Eddie Joy was a big name, but he was the anti-prime, right? It was like, we're gonna take the stairs. It was slow, it was a slow build. It was a slow build to year 4. And look at the success. They did it the old way. And the recruiting's been that way. It's been slow and steady. But hey, we're gonna develop these guys, keep them here, and we're gonna reap the dividends later on. So again, they lose Drayton Ellis, who that first year he was okay, and he gradually got better. Right, had a really really good year last year. Got to the playoffs, had a good showing against Montana. Ended up coming short, and they lost that game. But man, they had a damn good year, and that translated over to recruiting. And typically, that's how it works. If you win, typically when you win and you win in a good way, it helps your recruiting and you can entice people to come because you're winning. It's hard to recruit to when you're losing. And Tennessee State has turned their tide. They're winning now. They're a sexy program, and it's not hard to recruit to Nashville. And so you look at what they've gotten. I expect for the trend. I expect for the trend to continue. The main thing that Tennessee State has to do is get a quarterback. If they can replace Drayton Ellis, look out. Look out. It's there. So they did a damn good job, man. Look, and I spoke on them earlier. Now we get to A&T. This is the one surprise out of everybody, and I'm glad I'm talking about them last because A&T did a damn good job recruiting. And look, quiet as this kept, you know, excuse me. They bring in, they bring in Gibbs, and Gibbs does, I think, a smart thing, but it's hard to feel like you're gonna do, your way. But he pretty much brought in the old gang. Pretty much got everybody from the staff when Broadway was the coach and Gibbs, I believe, was the running back coach, if I'm not mistaken. They did a damn good job. I mean, look, they got some dogs in there, man. I didn't mention them. I excluded them out of them because of them being in the CAA. But if I gotta be honest, man, I gotta give anti-class, man, a B plus for real. They got a damn good class. Damn good class. Um, It looks like a raw Broadway class, for real. Uh, and I'll just say this: if Gibbs has this thing rolling the way Broadway does, what is that going to look like in the CAA? Right? We're gonna find out. But man, off to a damn good start in year one. They have some good players. They underperformed. I don't know if it was they wanted to play for the coach for Vincent Brown. I don't know what's going on, but there's some talent there. It's not a roster full of bad players. It's not. They have some good players on their team. It's just going to see what can Gibbs do to get these guys to have some buy-in to turn this thing around. But the resolve is there, man. All the old head football players and the former players are really, really into the hire. I think he's a player's coach, so we'll see what that looks like. Now on Gibbs' end, because mind you, it's not Broadway, it's Gibbs. Gibbs had a good job. He did pretty good down at Fort Valley State, but that didn't translate into any success playoff wise for himself. And so we'll see if the marriage of the two, being that Gibbs going back home to a place that he's happy and he's familiar with, but also bringing the old gang back where there's some familiarity. Also, I think that helps with recruiting because all these guys together were already there before recruiting, so that helped, right? So we'll see what that looks like going for them, and we'll see how they do in this year one in the CAA. If they can have a form of success again, uh, I really can't gauge them to say what they'll do from a one-loss standpoint. But do I think that they'll be better than last year? I do. They weren't really, really good, but I think A&T under Gibbs already is paying dividends, and they're better than A&T under Vincent Brown. So, but nonetheless, gave them a B plus. Love the class, right? Love the class. And look, we're gonna hold you guys a little 2 months longer. We're finna get ready to head up out of here, but I did want to make mention. God dog it. Hold on, y'all. What the hell? Yikes. I did want to make mention. Did want to make mention. Want to bring this up for you guys, and that is excuse me. Jack State just hired. Jack State just revived their golf program. It's officially back. and they made the announcement of the new golf head coach today, which is Rob Ford II. So kudos to Jack State for that, man. It's been a long time coming. Man, we've lost about 4 commissioner cups because we didn't have a golf program. And as I say this, Jackson State is leading for the commissioner cup as we speak. And hopefully we can actually pull that thing out, being that we actually have golf back. I know they've started recruiting players, so that's going to be an amazing thing. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. So kudos to Jackson State and Rob Ford II for having that golf program. And we used to dominate that sport like it ain't nobody's business. And I know Eddie Payton is back residing in Jackson, so hopefully we can get him back to assisting out with that program and go ahead and get back to winning some championships in the sport that we actually dominated. So, but other than that, man, I'm gonna read off some of these comments right quick, man, before we get up out of here, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys like the layout, man. We're still working on it, still trying to tweak it. But if y'all got any questions, man, put some questions in the chat. I'm gonna holler at some of y'all right quick. See what we got here. I see Crookers here, and let's see what we got here. Morgan in trouble with D-Jack and might be recruiting up there. It ain't gonna get no better. You got that right. When that kid from Delaware decommitted from JSU, I knew he was going. It wasn't hard to read. Did South Carolina State dip in the portal or mostly high schoolers? They went high school. And South Carolina State recruits the crap out of Carolina. They don't really leave outside the state. And if they do, most of the time they go to Georgia. But they recruit the crap out of South Carolina. Will South Carolina State recruits play right away? I don't know. Some will. I expect for that running back to get some PT. He's too good to keep off the field. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So it's did JSU do enough to replace the DNs and O linemen that left? Oh man, most definitely. You gotta remember, Kirk Ford is leaving. I forget the other O lineman, but Kirk Ford went down in the Celebration Bowl. We put a freshman in there, didn't drop a beat. We've played 3 freshmen all throughout the year last season, so that line is not going to miss a beat. And Coach Manny actually coached all the linemen to play all 5 positions, so nah, we won't miss a beat. And defensive end, Josh Nobles left. Want to get back closer to home, and we Jackson State is gonna be fine there. Uh, got some other guys they're gonna rotate in at D tackle. Got some guys coming in. That's gonna play outside linebacker as well as rush in. They're gonna be fine there. Like the moves that we did in that regard too. Yeah, what up, Steve-O? Yeah, Eddie Robinson, he created the program. So yeah, it's gonna be dope to see Jack State get that golf program there. If also not having spring games secondary to portal agents, other programs stealing your talent. Yeah, man. We talked about that. Talked about that last week. I don't think, I don't think any change is gonna come this year. I don't really see any wholesale changes. I don't think it's gonna be this huge mass thing where coaches aren't going to be doing this. It's a different animal, on the FCS level, right? But I do foresee it's going to affect some programs. Some coaches are going to do it. It's just going to come down to how it's affecting the program, right? But I also think that's really going to happen to like the really good teams that have good talent, right? There's talent on every team. Don't get it twisted. But it depends on the quantity and quality of what you have. And they have a resource that we don't have. It's money. And look, just keep it a buck, you know. And I know some people say, well, how did it come to get our players? Our spring games on TV? They don't have to be. Coaches communicate, and coaches know players. They scout players all the time. They know who's on your roster. Trust me. And they got ways of finding out because guess what? There's film out there, and the tampering is at an all-time high. And if they got a player that left, our players are a bargain. Trust me when I tell you. Giovanni Gibson going to Oklahoma is a bargain compared to the receivers they got on their roster already. It's just like um Andrew Jones at Grambling. damn good year. But let's say before the spring, and Andrew Jones, the defensive player of the year. Let's just say before the season happened last year, we have a spring game. A portal opens up back in the summer, and Ole Miss says, "Man, Andrew Jones pretty good. Let's go ahead and throw him $500,000." And Ole Miss could pay him directly. They don't need a collective. They don't need an NIL. The school can pay him directly. Andrew Jones may say, "Y'all can be loyal to Grambling. That's $500,000, and I can go play immediately. I'm gonna rush in. They're just gonna tell me to go get the quarterback." You can't prevent that, right? So I'm just saying, if they feel like, hey, let me not have a spring, we'll just have scrimmage practices closed to the public. Whatever I can to put restrictions in or some type of roadblock to guarantee my year with my player, some coaches are going to do that. That's all. That's why I see that. So it's a good question, EA. My baby, appreciate that. Hampton did okay. Excuse me. Hampton did okay. It pales in comparison to Norfolk State. Um, if I had to give them a grade, nobody did an F. Nobody deserved an F. Them D's are stretching it though, but I would give Hampton about a C minus. I would. Yeah, Rube. What's up, Rube? Absolutely right. 2026 is up, and if y'all pay attention, they getting offers right now. 2026 is getting offers left and right now. Matt Rule weird. First year he was in press conference bragging how he don't lose players. Part of this year he don't want to have a spring game. Well, it's not being weird. It's hey man, I'm trying to do what I can to maintain my players. It's a wild thing, but when I look at it, I look at it from the FCS standpoint, HBCU standpoint, because you gotta remember, you know, schools on the FCS level, we're impacted if we lose our best player, or if you lose your number one receiver, we're impacted a lot more than the FBS program is impacted, right? You know, Grambling didn't have a great season, but look how much worse they look if they lose Andrew Jones in the spring. Yeah, Pine Bluff didn't have a great record, right? But what if Pine Bluff lose Higgins and Gibson in the spring? Now imagine what that looked like, right? You can say what you want about Valley. Valley only won one game, but imagine how Valley looks if they lose Rembert in the spring game. See, it matters. It's demoralizing. You know, if you're Jackson State, hey, you lose Irv and you lose two other or three other running backs in the spring, and I'm talking about before the spring game. So it's a lot more detrimental to us if we lose players in that way. Now we're gonna lose them if they offer money. That's fine. But if I'm a coach, if I'm coaching, I want to guarantee that I get my 1 year rental out of that player. Whatever happens at the end of the school year, I can account for that because now I can, he played the season for me. We did what we did, and guess what? I can go get another one, right? But it's different when I'm not prepared for it. You yank them up under me during the spring. That's a killer, right? In regards to preparation. So I see it that way. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of kids that jump in the portal and come down to play, have a plan to play 1 year and bounce back up. That's why I use the term 1 year rental. That's what they are. But you want to guarantee your 1 year rental. That's the crazy part about it. Will the SWAC be more competitive with the new coaches in the conference? I think so. I think so. The thing that's going to be very telling this year, I think the SWAC is going to be better this year than last year. The thing that's going to be telling over everything, because I like the coaching hires in the conference. I mean, think about it. The MEAC added the Flash, right? They added Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson. They added the pizzazz to their conference, and I like it. I'm not going to sit here and deny it. But the SWAC, I truly believe, upgraded in the coaching department. I truly believe that. Terrill Buckley, from a career standpoint, probably better than Michael Vick's from an NFL career standpoint, right? He just didn't have the name. But Terrill Buckley's been coaching. he did it the old school way. This is not a knock because I like to hire Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson, but Terrill Buckley took the stairs, did it the old school way. But also, he's been coaching. First time coach, but he's been coaching. But Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick know the game, so we're not trying to discredit them. But Terrill Buckley's been coaching. He's been in this dynamic. Sam Shader's a proven winning head coach. Tremaine Jackson's a proven winning head coach. They both won where they were. And I'm not talking about a little bit winning. They've won significantly, right? And Sam Shade's seen both sides of the tracks. Played at Alabama, played in the NFL, right? Tremaine Jackson is well versed in the SWAC. Went to Texas Southern, played for Texas Southern. Coached at a PWI, a powerhouse at Valdosta State. Got to the championship game. So they're bringing experience on their end, but they're all familiar with the SWAC. I love the moves for them. The only thing that's going to determine everything within this conference this year is quarterback play. If we can get some tangible quarterback play in the conference this year, it's going to tell us all we need to know. I really hope that we all can get some type of sustainability and stableness, get stable at quarterback. Because, going to the portal every year to get a quarterback for 1 year is not the way to do it. You can't sustain long-term success doing that. You can have 1 year rental at certain positions, but not at quarterback. And if the SWAC can actually get better at quarterback, I honestly believe this conference could trend upward. I really, 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 really do. So, look, man, we about to roll up out of here, man. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Zone Coverage Podcast with your boy Zoe Phillips. And look, man, we're gonna jump back into it next week. Listen, if you guys had heard the announcement, keep your check your local listings, man. We're gonna do a big one. We're about to change the game. You heard it right. Y'all stay tuned. Keep your ears plugged for the Zone Plus app. This is a bona fide app that's gonna change the HBCU landscape. Coming soon. It's gonna be on all platforms. Uploaded to get it. Apple, Google, everywhere. Tons of content. We're gonna change the game. It's coming very, very soon. Zone Plus app. Check us out. Like I said, you got Scotty, Off Script, HBCU Nightly. We got some other programs coming. A lot of things happening within this space. So again, we'll be back, man. Tuesday next week. Your boy, man, Zoe Phillips. To catch y'all next time in the Zone Coverage Podcast. Holla.